Roger Dutter.
Okay. Thank you. Okay, so the plan for today, we're going to spend about the first 20 minutes or so going into some informational updates to learn the latest and greatest cataloging news. We'll start with Pamela Thomas, Dr. Pamela Thomas at the Cataloging Maintenance Center. Then we'll hear from Nancy about Rails cataloging services. Then Heidi Ray from Alpha Park Public Library District. She'll give us an update on the RSA Database Committee and Technical Services Networking Group. And then I will give you an update on RSA cataloging operations. Once we do those updates, we will stop the recording and then we will get into cataloging bingo. So why don't we, if you want to, Pam, take it away with your update for the Cataloging Maintenance Center.
Okay, can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Am I
hear
loud
you.
enough?
Yes.
It's, it's a problem sometimes. Okay, so you can find information about the Cataloging Maintenance Center on our webpage, and I can paste that into the chat. So we kind of have like 3 different pages. This first one is an overview. And then we also do our online with the CMC. So those presentations are on another page. So I'm going to put that in the chat. Oh, yep, and Erica's sharing the page. And then finally, we have one that's just called News. And that kind of gives you a little information on what we are currently working on. Okay. Most of you should know by now that the CMC is supported by funds from the Illinois State Library, which means that we provide free cataloging services to all Illinois libraries if the items are written by Illinois authors, about Illinois history or genealogy, or part of a special collection. We catalog many yearbooks, genealogy items, local authors, books, CDs, DVDs, and even archival collections. We also provide database cleanup. Please use the ILDS delivery label to send items for cataloging. You may want to email us to determine if your items fit within our criteria. And that's just the CMC at illinoisheartland.org. And I will paste that in the chat box as well. If you happen to have a lot of items, we can discuss how many you can send at a time. Just remember that each box should weigh less than 40 pounds. You can send one item or you can send many at a time. We can enhance brief records or create original records in OCLC. Besides cataloging, we also present webinars September through May, and our final fiscal year presentation will be on May 20th at 10 a.m. Cheerios Rice Krispies are the Directory of Overseas Jobs, and Sherry Sheila-Fraus will tell you how to catalog cereals. Our online with the CMC webinars typically occur the 3rd Thursday of the month from 10 to 11 a.m. The live sessions are recorded and the link to the recording is added to the L2 event. If you have any topics that you'd like us to cover September through May of 2021 through 2022, please email at that last one that I posted in the chat box. We have until the end of the month to give us any topics for this next fiscal year. We also offer Moodle courses, RDA book, RDA for video and audio recordings, and subject analysis. All of those are 6-week courses. I'm currently creating a cataloging 3D objects, kits, and reality course, which will be available next month. It's going to be exciting. I know, I've been working on it probably way too long. After offering the 4-week 3D objects, kits, and reality course, I'll offer the subject analysis, the RDA book, and then the RDA for video and audio recordings throughout this calendar year, because yes, it will take that long to offer all 4 of those. And then I'll start the cycle of courses again next year. All courses will be added to the L2 calendar, and I will ask Rails and IHLS to mark the classes, so stay tuned. Does anybody have any questions about that? No? All righty.
Thank you, Pam. That was a good overview, a whirlwind overview. Excellent. Okay, why don't we shift now, we'll hear from Nancy George, the Rails Cataloging Services Coordinator. If there's anything, Nancy, you'd like me to share on the screen, or you can take control of the screen as well.
Yeah, why can't you share our, I can provide you the link. So,
Okay,
yeah. So if you could share, then I don't need to worry about it.
there we go.
Yeah.
That works. Easy
All
is
right.
good, right?
Yes, good. Thank you.
Sure.
Good afternoon, everyone. I appreciate this opportunity to talk about cataloging services from Rails. First, I would like to talk about the cataloging training opportunities from Rails. Rails provides cataloging training and support to any library that belongs to Rails. We offer a variety of cataloging training opportunity to our members, including repeating courses, offering new courses, and specialized supplementary sessions. Training formats include in-person classes, presentation, and webinars. But due to the current pandemic, we offer these trainings as a series of webinars or presentations. All these training courses are free to all staff of Rails libraries. So these courses provide you with an opportunity to expand your current cataloging skill set and develop comprehensive knowledge of library cataloging and metadata management. I would like to mention what we have offered this year so far and what are our plans for the rest of the year. So in January and February, we had a course on understanding DDC and WebDUI. I received many requests to offer this course again. I would be happy to offer this course one more time, but if for currently we are not able to do it for this year. If it fits my schedule, I would try to offer it one more time because I got more than 10 requests for this course. Yeah. So another course we offered is Mark 21 Standard in March and April. I hope you all know that what is Mark. Mark is the name of the data format that is used to enter bibliographic information into workflows and OCLC. So this course is designed for members of the library community who do not have formal library training. So this will help you understand basic information about Mark. If you haven't done so, you may want to take this course when we offer this course next time. Now I would like to give you a tentative schedule on what we are planning to offer the rest of the year. We coordinate a course on Library of Congress classification system with an outside presenter, Dr. Snow from Dominican University. This cataloging course will be happening on Friday, April 30th and Friday, May 14th at 10 a.m. on both days. In summer, we will be offering a course on cataloging of print monographs using RDA. In addition, we will be offering supplementary single sessions on different cataloging related topics through webinars and presentations. We are also planning to offer either on new RDA update or on LRM, the conceptual model, that is the library reference model behind new RDA. This would be available in fall. We continue to develop new courses and maintain the current existing courses. So currently I am developing a course on cataloging video recordings. We don't have a schedule for this yet. And we always looking to expand the cataloging training opportunity to provide to our members. So if there is any cataloging topic, if you are interested in, please contact me. We will try our best to offer those courses. And all these classes will be listed in L2 as they are scheduled. And Rails e-news is the best way to stay informed of upcoming Rails cataloging training opportunity. This is our weekly newsletter that is full of CE events and a lot of updates on new projects and so much more. So it is the primary way we Rails communicate with our members. So if you haven't subscribed to our e-newsletter, I would recommend you to do so. Now, I would like to talk about specialized cataloging support from Rails. It is not available on our website right now because it's in the planning stage right now. So Rails did a survey in the middle of 2020 to determine the needs for specialized cataloging support from Rails. Based on our survey results, we are planning to establish a centralized cataloging center that would provide cataloging, particularly when original cataloging or word language cataloging is needed. This would be an ongoing cataloging support for our members in expanding access to unique resources by providing useful, timely, and free cataloging. This service covers non-Latin and Asian languages and different formats of materials for original and copy cataloging. This cataloging assistance does not cover European languages, genealogy, local history, and special collection. Rails library can utilize CMC for those kind of materials. Currently, we are developing the eligibility parameters and other procedures for this service. So once we decided all this, we will inform you the details. Thank you so much for your kind attention. I would like to answer any questions you may have. If you have any questions regarding the cataloging service in the future, do not hesitate to contact me. So if you have any questions, I am happy to take any questions.
Hey, I have one question, Nancy. Will the MARC course, will that be repeated later this year or sometime next year? I know you're very busy, so sometime next year you're thinking.
Okay, not good. This year, because it's we already scheduled a lot of things, and
sure, that's smart. You have a plan.
Yeah, it's a high demand course all the time. Last time we had 50 participants and still people were emailing me about this course. So it's very high demand course.
It's always a nice feeling to know what you're doing is very needed. So that's a good thing. It can be overwhelming though, too, I know.
Yeah.
Thank you, Nancy. I appreciate you chiming in and joining us today.
Thank you, everyone.
Okay. Let's jump to Heidi now for an update on the database committee and the technical services networking. She's the chair and the facilitator. So take it away, Heidi.
Hi, I'm sorry, my video is no longer working. It was just working a few minutes ago, so I apologize.
That's okay.
You can hear me.
Yes, we can hear you.
Do you see the screen?
Yes, we see the screen.
Okay, so I'm going to introduce myself here, and the first thing I can tell you is that I am the Technical Services Manager at Alpha Park Public Library. I like chocolate chip cookies and long walks on the beach, and that's pretty much all you need to know. I am also the chair of the database committee. It is a one-year term. I help Erica and the others at RSA with the agenda suggestions, and I help her keep the meetings running smoothly. And I review the meeting notes and drafts written, and then I draft a written report that summarizes the meetings for the RSA user group meeting. So a quick summary about the purpose of the database committee. This is a group that meets several times each year to hear informational cataloging updates from Rails, the Cataloging Maintenance Center, and the RSA staff. And our next group meeting is Friday, May 21st at 9:30 a.m. So we hope that you guys can join us for the next meeting. We discuss a lot of different things relating to cataloging and workflows and OCLC connection, links data, and a lot more. RSA usually hosts the database meetings in person, but because of COVID, we've all gone to just Zoom only. So currently, the meetings will still be held only Zoom through May. And then at some point, we'll revisit that and see if we can ever meet in person again. Excuse me. If you're ever unable to attend a database meeting, we do take notes and record the meetings, and they'll be shared on the RSA listserv once they're ready. Sorry, excuse me. And the database and the meeting will also be shared on the RSA YouTube, for the recordings will be on their YouTube page. And I'm going to post the database committee link to the chat as soon as I'm done here. And then, sorry, the next database meetings are listed 21st at 9:30, September 23rd at 1:30, and then November 10th at 9:30. And then secondly, I am also kind of the chair of the new Technical Services Networking Group. This was a group that we just got started this spring. Our first meeting was in February, and it's a networking group outside of what RSA does. So the database committee meetings are RSA led, and it's a bunch of information that they need to get out to us. So that we're not taking time away from their meetings, we're scheduling a second networking group so that we can discuss all things related to tech services, including collection development, collection management, staffing, pretty much anything that you feel you want to learn more about or discuss in these meetings is pretty open. We just met in February and we discussed who's using which materials vendors, how that's working. We discussed how people are using the on-order records, and we discussed how juvenile series and graphic novels are organized in different libraries. It's a very interactive meeting, and we tend to have agenda items, and it's your opportunity to really ask any questions, pull the masses, ask for tips and tricks, or share your tips and tricks, and just get some opinions or best practices. So it really is open to just about anything. If you have any topics that you would like to discuss, please send them to me, Heidi at alphapark.org, or call me at Alpha Park in Martinville, or send them to Erica. Send up smoke signals, whatever you want to do to get them to us. We'll happily accept anything that you want to talk about. We're probably looking at August for the next networking group meeting, because it'll be at the end of summer reading for most of us. So we'll see how that goes. So stay tuned for that. Let's see. And lastly, just to note that meetings are listed on L2. The website is listed here, and I'll post that in the chat room. L2 is where it's an online calendar where we add all of the meetings that are not only in RSA, but Rails and some others. So if you're looking for any meetings, webinars, check there. And some of the upcoming meetings that RSA has are listed here. And you just go out and you'll need to sign up for it if you haven't, but and then register for each meeting so that you can get all the details and the links sent to you. And I believe that is it. Does anyone have any questions? I feel like I flew through that, so let me know if you have any questions. And I have to stop sharing so I can see my chat.
Great job, Heidi. Yeah. One thing I'll chime in too with that is we'll always offer the online meeting option for database committee meetings, but like Heidi said, we're hoping we can maybe return to doing them in person as well. So we would have both options. So we'll have to see how it plays out. But just be assured that the online option will continue. It won't just be in person. Yeah. Thank you, Heidi. That was very good in covering the basics on those groups. Thank you. Okay, let me share my screen again. I thought I would just give you a few updates about where we are at RSA with cataloging. Yeah, the first thing I wanted to mention is the staff of RSA, including the cataloging team, we're continuing to work from home because there is no required plan at this point to return to the office. I know the Rails administration is working on a plan, but other than staff stopping in occasionally or maybe working a day or two in the East Peoria office, everybody is still pretty much from home. So we will have to see what happens. So I wanted to be sure and mention that. A couple things that have been of particular interest lately, I was noticing as I reviewed cases in our help desk and then also materials that you, our membership, have been submitting as cataloging requests. And this makes perfect sense with the pandemic and people stuck at home. It's getting better, but still a lot of time at home. We know that binge boxes, those containers with multiple DVDs or Blu-rays, maybe they're on a theme like Westerns or rom-coms, maybe they're multiple seasons of a TV show, like Mad Men. So we know these binge boxes, sometimes they even have candy and popcorn with them. We know these are very popular. So if your library is thinking about getting started with these, if you haven't already, just remember we have a cheat sheet that has some important things to remember about binge boxes. Also too, I noticed there's been quite a few cataloging requests and also some questions about what we call library of things materials. You might have these in your collection at your library. They're not traditional library items like books, video recordings, sound recordings, periodicals. They're more things where maybe you want to use it or play it, but you don't necessarily want to go out and buy it. So it could be a cake pan. It could be a board game like Monopoly. It could be a kit, maybe a STEM kit that goes with maybe a program or a theme that your youth services department's doing. We've even had one library catalog a sewing machine. So these library of things items, we can certainly help you figure out a way to catalog those in workflow so you can check them out to your patrons and make them searchable as well. And remember, we can even build a custom search limit in the RSA CAT online catalog if you have these unique library of things materials and you want to make the collection easily searchable for you and your patrons. We can help you do that in the online catalog. In terms of training, we've had a successful round of online basic workflows cataloging workshops. We started them last fall and have continued them again these past few months. Our last workshop until summer break is next month in early May. We are in the process of working on the revamp of the OCLC Connection client training. I know we've talked about that off and on at several meetings over the past few months, but just be assured work is ongoing on that. I'll talk a little bit more about our target for that further down in this update, but I'll keep going for now with my script here. And then the last thing I wanted to mention about training was we're not currently doing in-person training unless it's for a new RSA member library. Currently, the new members are to the point where they need Anna's help with patron entry and circulation holds training. But we have had some within the past 6 months or so that needed some cataloging training. So we did that. And then we may have another new member in the next few months. So we will see what plays out. But right now, the ones we have are past the cataloging phase. In terms of cataloging requests, you might have seen that Rails ended the quarantine requirement for materials sent in delivery. They did that earlier this month on April 12th. I realize I've not sent an official announcement, but we did here at RSA follow suit, and we're no longer quarantining materials that come to us in delivery for cataloging requests or any other reason. And I know Rails ended that, maybe you read this too, because the research shows that COVID spreads through droplets in the air, such as a sneeze or a cough versus touching surfaces. So they have stopped the quarantine, and we have too. The cataloging team is working hard to try and reduce the standard turnaround time for a cataloging request to make sure each item is on some kind of bibliographic record, whether it's a good OCLC record or a workflows brief record. They're working hard to reduce that turnaround time. It's still currently 21 to 28 business days, but we've actually undertaken an internal restructuring of our team to try and clear up some unnecessary things they were doing, particularly meetings, and get some more time during their day to focus on cataloging. So we're doing the internal rework, and then also that connection training restarted. We think will help us be 2 more elements of our workload that can help us push towards a reduced turnaround time. So we truly are trying to get that reduced. We know it affects your ability to get items out to patrons. And then the other thing I wanted to mention about cataloging requests before I finish up this update, since we're still working remotely and cataloging staff are just dropping into the office to pick up items that have arrived in delivery, and maybe drop off what they've cataloged so it can be returned to you. That's happening at least once a week. And again, we're hoping that once we have a firmer return to the office plan, that we'll be able to be there and get those items more frequently. Just to finish up here, database maintenance, I wanted to be sure and encourage you as you come across items in our database where maybe it's a duplicate, maybe there's multiple records that seem to describe the same thing, or you notice items on the wrong record, whether they're yours or another library's, maybe it's a Blu-ray on a DVD record, which really, as I'm sure you've experienced, it really causes patron frustration when things are cataloged on wrong records. So if you're coming across things like duplicates or wrong records, please report them to our help desk so we can resolve them. Also watch out for, we've noticed an uptick in print books that are cataloged on records for audio enabled books where it has a sound recording integrated into the book. They usually go by the Vox or Wonderbook brands. So just be careful. You might see some print books attached to those records. So please let us know. And then also the perpetual problem of print books attached to electronic resource records. So just some issues to watch out for. And then just to finish up with our cataloging restructuring progress, I know we have talked about several phases in previous meetings. Right now, I'm still trying to put together the coherent statistics for a cataloging snapshot that's shared on the RSA listserv. The purpose of that is just more transparency about what we're working on here at RSA on the cataloging team and showing you some numbers of what we've done. So that is still in progress. I'm hoping, I know Kendall's in this meeting, I'm hoping he's going to maybe help me here, get some specifics in place for that. And then the OCLC connection, the revamped training curriculum, what we're targeting for is June for that. We'd like to have a cataloging roundtable before then to talk about more specifics that go with the OCLC training. So just be on the lookout here in the next couple months on the listserv for an invitation to a roundtable. I think those were the highlights. We're right around time. We're a little bit over, but does anybody have any questions before we dive into bingo? Okay, if you want to stop the recording, please, Anna, that would be great. Thank you, Nancy. Yeah.